What I'm going to share with you in this video feels completely illegal, but it makes me over $1,200 per day in profit with my consulting business, and on top of that, it's actually completely legal, otherwise I wouldn't be doing it. And it's nothing revolutionary. In fact, it's actually so goddamn simple, a lot of people don't even believe it works. Now, since it's probably the first time you and I meet, let me introduce myself quickly. My name is Fred, and I went from struggling financially over 5 years ago to building a profitable consulting business. It allowed me to become financially free in my early 20s. So to thank you, if you watch this video until the end and you share it with a friend, when we get to 100,000 subscribers, I will be giving away $10,000. Okay, you want the formula for success? This is it. Traffic calls customers. If you can do these three things successfully, you will become so rich, it's not even funny. And that comes from a guy who sometimes had to sleep in a basement in the summer because it was so warm inside the house we couldn't afford AC. So I know what it's like to struggle financially. I've been there, and I'm living proof it's possible to get out of this situation as long as you do the right thing consistently and you never give up on your dream. So let me explain this funnel in more depth. The first part of the funnel is traffic. You could have the best product or the best service in the whole world, but if nobody even knows about it, you're not gonna make any money. It's really that simple. That's why it's even more important than sales. I'm gonna tell you this for a fact right now. A lot of your competitors, they make more money than you, not because they're smarter. That's not true. Not because they're more hardworking or more disciplined. That is not true. Rich people don't work as hard as you think. It takes a lot of hard work to become rich, yes. But when you're rich, you don't have to work insanely hard. You just have to make the right decisions. Other people do the hard work for you. So you will never grind more than when you're broke. That's the truth. There's two ways you can get traffic. There's free methods, like posting content on social media, or direct outreach, which basically means reaching out to your potential customers. And then there's paid traffic. So running Facebook ads, for example, running YouTube ads, Google ads. The pro of paid advertising is that it's extremely scalable. As long as you can keep spending more money, you can get more traffic, and therefore, if you do things properly, get a return on your investment. It's like having a machine where if you put $10, you get back $100. So if you had this kind of machine, you would keep putting money into it, and you would keep getting richer and richer and richer. You would never stop using that machine, would you? Except that obviously it's not that simple. You need to know what you're doing. And at first, running paid ads, it's like gambling. You have to be willing to lose your money, to experiment. So unless you're already making 5K, 10K per month, I don't suggest you go to paid advertising just yet, because it's a surefire way to go broke extremely quickly. Now, when it comes to organic content, it's one of the best ways to get customers. Why? Because it leads to insanely high profit margins. Because on platforms like YouTube, you can even get paid to acquire customers when your account is monetized. Do you realize how crazy this is? If you go to paid ads, you need to spend money for people to see your ad. And an ad, it's basically a text or a video or a picture with a headline. Content is the same thing, a video or a picture with a text and a headline. It's the same goddamn thing, except that when you post content, it's free. You don't have to pay for it. But the big downside is that you can't directly control it. When I post a video, I have no way to know for sure how many views it's gonna get. But one way to go around it is to often remake similar types of videos. So if you take a look on my channel, you'll see that I often remake very similar types of videos, and that's because they're proven to work. They get more views than the average on my channel, and so I remake those videos because it shows me people actually have an interest in this type of content. At the end of the day, if you want to make a lot of money, you want to become even, let's say, a millionaire, you just need to give people what they want. I know it sounds simple on paper, it's a bit more complex in reality, but if you give others what they want, you'll make money. Because one of the very first things I learned from my mentors, people who made multiple 7, multiple 8 figures per year in revenue with their business, the main thing they taught me is that as long as they tried to sell things to people which people didn't care about, they didn't need their services or coaching offers, they barely made any money. They stayed broke. But when they switched from selling to people what they thought people wanted to giving people what they actually wanted, then they made a lot of money. And the same thing is true for me. Then the next step, it's calls. So typically on these calls, you ask people some questions to understand their current situation and their desired situation, and then you position yourself and your offer as the vehicle to allow them to bridge that gap. And it allows you to sell only to the right people. So I never make someone an offer if I know I can't help them, because it won't even benefit me. It allows us to be hyper selective about the type of customers we want to work with, and it adds a premium feel to your brand. Since we charge high ticket prices with this business model, typically between $1,000 to $5,000, it can even be more than that, depending on what you sell and who you sell it to. You only need 1 or 2 customers to be able to quit your job and to go full-time on your business. If you want to make $10,000 per month, all you need is, for example, 5 customers to pay you $2,000. It can even be a monthly recurring fee. Now, on average, for every 5 people that you talk to, you should be able to close 1 customer. So it's a closing rate of about 25%. So the more calls you take, the more money you're gonna make, the more people you're going to help. But to get more calls, you need more visibility. So if you find find yourself stuck at any one of these stages, you want to reverse engineer the whole process and figure out what's lacking. Because if you're stuck, it's because you lack a key piece of information or because you're focused on solving the wrong problem. On that note, if you want my personal help to start your business or to grow it, I've made a video in which I share with you everything I did step by step to make upwards of $1,200 per day in profit with my own consulting business. I will leave the link in the description below, or you can also directly apply to book a call with me or my team and we'll see if we can actually help you. The next thing I'd like to share with you, and this lesson alone allowed me to go from making $0 per month, being dirt broke, having to sleep in a basement sometimes in the summer, it was horrible, to making so much money so quickly it feels almost impossible, or some people would say it's illegal because they don't understand how it works, and staying in some of the best buildings in the world, having a life which honestly I never thought I could live. So in a way, I've been able to live very privileged experiences and I'm extremely blessed for that. What made that shift possible was going from being a consumer to being a producer. Over 5 years ago, I desperately wanted to become successful, but the problem was I was just mindlessly consuming all day long. I would promise myself I'd be really productive and work really hard, only to wake up the next day and to just spend my whole morning watching movies on streaming websites. And to trick myself into thinking I wasn't procrastinating, I would watch the movie in 2x speed. I wasn't even enjoying it. I was miserable. I had many vices, many addictions. I was afraid of pain. I was constantly trying to avoid my negative emotions. But it's not until the day I told myself, you know what, I am sick and tired of running away from my pain. I'm sick and tired of escaping my life, my problems, that everything changed for me. Because one day I made the decision, enough was enough. I was going to roll up my sleeves and do whatever it takes to win. And so I did. I grabbed a piece of paper and a pen and I made a list of everything I was afraid to do. And every single day, I forced myself to do at least one thing that scared me. I started off with simple things, like just going outside for a walk in the neighborhood. And then I started reaching out to potential customers, making content, taking sales meetings. The first time I did a sales call, I genuinely felt like my heart was going to just explode, like I was going to have a heart attack. That's how anxious and stressed I was. So if I was able to overcome all of that, what makes you think you couldn't do even better than me? I want you to remember the following quote: producers make money while consumers spend money. Now, something I'd like to share with you is that if you want to be very wealthy, you need to charge high ticket prices, especially in today's economy. When you sell low ticket products, anything below $200 usually, so like for example, if you sell a $50 ebook or a $50 monthly subscription, it's a guaranteed way to stay broke for a long time. Because you might see all these influencers with millions of followers making hundreds of thousands of dollars per month, following that same process, selling $50 a month communities or ebooks or courses. But the reason why it works for them is because they have a lot of visibility. Millions of people know about their brand every month. Millions of people watch their content, trust them and like them and want to learn from them and buy from them. Unless you have the same, a huge audience like that, you cannot follow the same strategies that they themselves are following. It's like walking in the gym. You've never done a single workout in your entire life, but you try to bench as much as the huge jacked dude when you're all skinny and weak. Most people would realize that makes no sense, but in business, for some reason, people just think they can do exactly what these influencers do with millions of followers and it's gonna work out the same way for them. It won't, because when you sell people on a low ticket product, you need hundreds of customers per month just to be making a decent income, which is why instead you want to focus on selling coaching or selling services. So to give you an example, some of my customers, they coach people on how to lose weight. To give you another example, some of my customers, they provide services. For example, lead generation services for business owners. And when you sell services, you can do it yourself if you know how to, or you can leverage remote contractors to do the work for you. So you're basically a middleman. Your job would be to find customers, close them, and then the remote contractor does the work. And they're very happy to do so because you literally bring them more business, you get them more customers. They didn't have to go out there and to find the customers themselves, which is typically what a lot of freelancers actually struggle with. Something I really want you to understand is that you need to focus on profit, not revenue. Online, you can see plenty of dropshipping gurus telling you they made $10,000 in one day, except that how much is actual profit? When I tell you I make $1,200 in a single day in profit, 95% of that is actual profit that goes into my pocket. I'm not even joking. But with dropshipping, if you take a look at the math, only 5 to 20% is actual profit. So if you make $10,000 per month with your dropshipping store, you are in the top 1%, because remember, most people never make a single cent online. But on top of that, how much do you actually keep in profit? Because you don't pay your rent, you don't pay food, and you don't pay for travel and anything that you want with revenue. You pay it with profit, and even worse, profit after tax. So if you made $10,000 per month with your dropshipping business, because only 5 to 20% is profit, you would only keep $500 to $2,000 before taxes. Yes, you have to pay taxes on top of that again. So at the end of the month, you are more broke than somebody working at a fast food joint, even though initially you made $10,000 per month. So you could flex, but you're actually broke. So for that reason, do not let the numbers fool you. What matters is how much you keep, not how much you make. With that being said, if you want me to personally help you to start or to grow your business, I invite you to check out the resources in the description below or to directly apply to book a call with me or my team, and we'll see if we can help you. And with that being said, I'll be waiting for you on the other side.